Well, hello everyone. Telford has just been hit by this latest wave of snow that's coming across the country. It's Sunday morning, and after having amassed a grand total of 2 miles on foot yesterday, and with the first of our little Shropshire Mafia virtual West Highland Way team having finished the West Highland Way yesterday, I thought I'd better get out and put some proper miles in, so here I am. Straight from my front door, all of this is, as usual, and I'll do my best to talk you through one or two of the more interesting parts of the route as we go. Not sure how many miles I'm going to get done yet, or exactly where I'm heading. All I know is that right now I'm heading down towards Coalbrookdale, and I'll tell you a bit about Coalbrookdale and that area and its significance in the Industrial Revolution when we get there. But for now, folks, come join me on another local lockdown bimble. This is Wild Astro. So, welcome to Coalbrookdale, ladies and gents. Back at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, when Abraham Darby figured out how to turn coal into coke, which would burn hotter and allow the furnaces to burn more efficiently, Coalbrookdale was the heart of it all. It was where it all happened. I've shown you the Ironbridge down the valley in previous films, and that was a product of this Industrial Revolution that kicked off right here and spread eventually throughout the world. And the big house I showed you a moment ago, that was Abraham Darby's house. And all of these buildings here were all built to house workers or to be factories. Look at that. That's one of the big factories. I can't remember exactly what that one did at the moment, but all of these buildings had their own purpose and their own place within the revolution and within the amazing industry that was kicking off here. So yeah, it's one of those great little places that I'm quite proud to live nearby, and because I live nearby it, an awful lot of school trips tended to be to this area, so I learned a lot about it, which is great. So, following a track that I've never been up before, but this is going to take me down into the valley, into the Severn Valley itself, and then we'll follow that along to the iconic Iron Bridge itself, and we'll cross that and carry on down the river, and I'll speak to you in a bit. So here we are down in the Ironbridge Gorge, and the snow is still falling, and I'm just arriving at something I didn't well, should have thought of it, because I knew this was the situation down here at the moment. I can't walk along the gorge, at least not along the main road through the gorge, which is known as the wharfage. I can't go along there because the River Severn's up and the road's flooded. So I thought I'd just wander down here into one of the car parks on the side of the river, where we've got more of these fantastic old buildings, most of which have now been repurposed as shops and antique centres and things like that. Thought I'd just come here and have a little look at just how bad it is. So they've shut the way through to Dale End Park there, and if we have a wander down, oh wow, yep. Yeah, there's actually normally a path down there. You can see those steps going down to it. And where are we now? About, what, 3 feet? 3 feet away from being in this car park. So, beautiful, beautiful scene. Wow. And still the snow falls. Right. So, because we can't walk straight along the wharfage today, we're going to have to do a little bit of an up and over along the valley side. That's fine. And I'll bring you back when I've made my way round to the Iron Bridge itself, or if I see anything else worth showing you. Back in a bit. Thought I'd just show you this, guys, because other than the wharfage itself, this is one of the main roads that service the houses on the sides of Ironbridge Gorge, and it's ridiculously narrow. You meet a car coming the other way here, you're a little bit stuck, but there are some fantastic houses and old buildings here. Absolutely brilliant. Little rows of ancient cottages like this, along with the odd huge boss's house. It's great. Oh, and for the footballers amongst you, good old Billy. And this gorgeous little path here that someone's been kind enough to clear comes through this fantastic little alleyway of old buildings, beautiful, beautiful places, and finally down onto the section of the wharfage that isn't flooded. let's have a look at it. Okay, so there it is. You can see the edge of the water, the flooded section of road. These are Ironbridge's flood defences, which they managed to put up unbelievably quickly these days. And it does keep the worst of the water away from the building frontages here. And here's the River Severn, which at this time of year really does seem pretty angry and purposeful. And if I turn to my left, there she is. So here we go, carrying on down the gorge. I'm back down onto, well, what I have called in previous films the Strawberry Line, which is the old disused railway that used to serve the Buildwas power station. One or two people commented on that and said they'd not heard of it referred to as the Strawberry Line before, but did know it as the Damson Line. So Strawberry Line, Damson Line. Perhaps it's me, got my wires crossed. It's a memory from a long time ago, so it's entirely possible that I was mistaken on that. So yeah, we're on either the Strawberry Line or the Damson Line, and we're heading down the Ironbridge Gorge towards Jackfield, where I will have a look for a nice sheltered spot for a bit of a brew. I think I haven't had my coffee this morning and this needs correcting, so looking for a sheltered spot for a coffee. See you in a bit. The Ironbridge Gorge is a lovely place all the time, but at this time of year and in weather like this, it's like some kind of Victorian winter fantasy. Apart from the occasional car, of course, but it is just glorious. And the people who commented on recent videos that I'm lucky to have trails and places like this to walk, yeah, you're absolutely right, and it's not lost on me, believe me. And those of you living in the middle of towns and cities and really struggling to get out to the rural areas, you do have my sympathies, which I know means precious little at the moment, but I feel for you guys nonetheless, because I'm not quite sure what I'd manage if I didn't have what I have right on my doorstep. Lucky me. Now, I've mentioned it before on walks, but just down there is the Half Moon Inn, which is, see if I can find a decent angle to show you. You can see the entrance just there, and it is underwater. So if the Half Moon is underwater, I wonder what it's going to be like a bit further downriver at the boat. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Sometimes it's worth just stopping. Birds, distant sound of the river passing over the rapids down there. Other than that, the very, very faintest sound of these tiny snowflakes hitting my jacket. Fantastic. decided to walk with this one. My bum's getting cold. Is there anything prettier than trees covered in snow? Look at that. Just love it. Absolutely love it. Right, onward. So I've continued downstream along the Strawberry/Damson line to a section of the line that I've never walked before, specifically the section between Jackfield and Bridge North. Now, I'm not going to go all the way to Bridge North because it's 8 miles there and another 8 miles back from Jackfield, but I'll go a decent way along this track. I think already it's rewarding me. Look at this beautiful forest over here. Snowy branches aplenty. Absolutely gorgeous. The valley side flattens out here and opens up, so you've got a much wider vista to admire. You can see the river is up in the garden of this house down here. The river's just beyond that house that you can see. And yeah, what we'll do is we'll head out this way and then back again, and I'll talk to you a bit as I approach Jackfield again. And we'll talk a little bit more about that part of the gorge, because there's a fair bit to show you. Hello. Hello. Wow. So here's another different little environment that we're walking through here. The flanks of that pine forest I showed you have come down and met the path here. It's like a scene out of Narnia, or the Gruffalo's Child. Depends on your generation, I guess. Lovely. So that's the direction I've come from, folks, and I'm just about as far out from Jackfield as I'm intending to go now. But I've just come across this fantastic site. Look at that up there. That is Apley Hall, one of Shropshire's most beautiful stately homes. Isn't that absolutely fabulous? And now I'm turning back towards home, and we'll pick it up as I get back to Jackfield. See you in a bit. Now I have to be a little bit subtle about this, but here is one of the old stations that used to serve this old railway line. And someone lives there now. Lucky buggers. What a fantastic place to live. There we go. Linley Station. How brilliant is that? And that's one of a couple that I'm going to pass. The next one I'll show you in a moment has got something a little bit special outside it, as you'll see shortly. Okay, just coming to the second of these beautiful station buildings now. This one also is now a private residence, and the building itself is almost identical to the one I showed you at Linley, but look at this. How fantastic is this? They've kept and restored 2 of the old carriages. Absolutely brilliant. And they've been there for years and years and years. I had a friend in primary school whose family owns this house and lived here, and those carriages were there then, but not in such a good state of repair, and there they are now. Absolutely glorious. Fantastic. Right, we're just coming back down and around this corner to the Woodbridge pub, and then I'll have another chat with you when we reach my favourite little sitting spot by the boat inn. See you in a minute. There's the lovely Woodbridge Inn. Fantastic pub. Really, really high quality. Lovely food. Lovely place to be. And this is the Woodbridge itself. And after this, there's no crossing over the River Severn until you reach Bridge North. Here we are then, folks, crossing back over the river again. And we're at Jackfield. And here is the boat inn. Oh dear. Well, by their standards, it's still relatively low. If you saw my video where I did the Show Us Your Brew hashtag, you'll know that on that door to the right hand side there are markings showing record flood levels, and some of them are right up at the top of that door, so there's still a good 5 feet to go before we're approaching record levels. But yeah, normally I would have walked down past those houses over there and approached the boat from the left, but the road is completely underwater, as you can see. Fortunately though, I can still go down here and get to my little bench. This is where I did my Show Us Your Brew film, so I shall stop and have a little sit. Today I'm not alone. Alright bud, I'd make you a coffee, but I don't think it'd sit too well with you. In there than last time I sat here. Prettier scene too. folks, I've made my way back up through Coalbrookdale, and now I'm heading back up the little tributary valley towards Madeley and home. So we'll call it a day at that, I think. And thanks ever so much for joining me on this little trip. Don't forget, there is a giveaway going on at the moment. Your chance to get your hands on a camping stove. Just have a look back through the videos on the channel and have a look for the camping stove giveaway film and get yourself in the comments there with the hashtag. Yeah, get yourself in that draw, because I'm going to be doing that quite soon. Other than that, all that remains for me to say, folks, is thanks for joining me on this local lockdown walk. I'll see you again soon. And this is Richie for Wild Astro. Although I can't see you with my glasses steamed up, this is me signing off.
Thank you.